Hello, this is Matt Wilson, creator of Bonus Stage, doing a little DVD-style commentary for this glorious episode that you're about to watch. Let's drop the pretense. I didn't even have to do this audio commentary, you know, because I'm so rich. All those millions of dollars I made off of those Riot t-shirt sales, I'm a millionaire. But since I had already become a sellout capitalist whore, I decided to force you all to give me money to finance my Sprummer home. A Sprummer? Well, that's a period of time between spring and summer. You may not have heard of it yet, just because I invented it right now, and as soon as I send out my annual bribe to the Senate, it'll be official. But you did pay money, and if I were a true starving artist, rather than the lavish, extravagant, billion-dollar playboy that I am, I would talk a little bit about this cartoon. Bonus level or something. So while I burn this $100 bill with my cigar, I'd like to give you a little insider info. Insider, that's what my Wall Street buddies told me to say. Alright, so this episode was based on an unfinished animatic script that I was working on just before the series came to a close. Only the poses to the first 3 minutes were done. Wow, that is burning fast. Look at that. Alright, well, anyway, I decided to do it because I needed something to test out this glorious micropayment system that Scott McCloud swears will work someday for people such as myself, the people that don't make a whole lot of money. I mean, until a year ago, you know, when I got the mad stacks. But basically, the story, The Fat of the Land, is the original episode title, was the first of many trial courtroom episodes. That was going to be the story arc of the season, where Joel and Phil are placed on trial for crimes against humanity as evidenced by their horrible webtoon escapades. This was one of them. This was the opening one. And there were scenes that I had to cut out because they were moved into other episodes, and you will never see them. Because I am an evil bastard who doesn't even want to use grammar right, because I said a evil bastard. And I will say it as many times as I feel like it, just to piss off the English folk out there. The English-loving fags. And that line was not read exactly as I wanted it to, but she did a good job anyway. Hopefully you're experiencing this episode without glitches, because it took me 10 to 12 hours to try and iron out all the bugs in the DVD action script. Hopefully it's working at all. Hopefully you're actually watching this as I intended, and you're not watching this off of like a BitTorrent, because I will find you and slug you with a slug. Don't ask me where I found the slug. It found me, and it has magical properties. Hey, guy, you, come on, get me a slug. Other episodes we're going to have Ellie being kidnapped by evil, the cloaked figure, and you would have found out who the cloaked figure was in the final 100th episode that will never be made ever, because this episode will not get the kind of money that I expect it to. Wait a second. Done. Blah. This isn't an empire. One thing I liked about that detail shot was that I had the hairs on the letters. I'm the lifeguard of an above-ground pool. I snuck in like 1 or 2 cameos into that black silhouette mask, but because it's just one solid color, you can't really tell who they are and where they are. Some people got the script to this episode in super advance if they checked the hideous message boards that the show was connected to. This was one of the scenes that I had trouble closing out. In fact, I'm looking at the script now, and there's just like a hole where a line of dialogue is supposed to be, but I filled it in, sort of ad-libbed. So these nerds are based on any passive-aggressive message board junkie you've ever encountered on the internet. You know, they aggregate at places like Fark and Something Awful and E-Bombs World, and there's this whole culture of disgusting slobs that take revenge on fellow slobs in the dumbest, most roundabout ways. Everything you see in this episode about nerds is pretty much based on second-hand experience. I witnessed this crap unfolding in real time, whether it's, taking pictures of houses or competing with each other to make the highest in calorie dinners. If you don't believe me, Google Pimp My Snack or GBS Food sometime. But do not, I repeat, do not cook or eat anything listed there, because you will die twice. That's how bad the food is. You will die twice eating it.
We're going to spray paint Tub Girl onto a guy's car. Lols.
I've always liked when Joel would be talking about something and then, just for no reason whatsoever, he'd suddenly derail onto a completely irrelevant topic. Something that happened in episode 50, and we got away from that a little bit in later episodes, but I decided to bring that side back for this episode. So basically, production time on this episode was a full month. Which is basically taking the 3 minutes that I had done in the animatic, which is just the poses, not any in-between animations, then doing another 5 minutes of poses, which took the majority of the month, about 3 weeks, and then doing all of the in-between drawings. Ultimately, it was a lot of effort, except for finding the sound effects. I can admit that the sound effects are probably the lowest on the priorities. First priority is to make sure that the drawings are funny to look at and make you laugh if you laugh at that sort of thing. Second is that the music is there, that the script is alright. And then you get to the voice acting, which has never been fantastic. And then the sound effects are sort of just something I do right at the end. I do have more sound effects in this episode, though most of them are a little too natural for a cartoon that's supposed to be really cartoony, I admit.
You're right, Juniper. Important thing is.
And just to backtrack, the scene with Phil's song was replacing a scene that was cut and was placed into another episode that you will never see, where Phil suddenly finds Candace attractive. That scene was him helping her move out of the house, but I cut it. It was making the episode too long. It was too irrelevant. And I don't know if I pronounced cholera correctly. I made a mistake before in a previous episode where I accidentally called a narcoleptic person a kleptomaniac, and people jumped on me pretty quickly, so feel free to jump on me again if I was incorrect.
Yes. Okay. All the time.
The backgrounds in this episode, some are done in Flash, some were in experimentation. I decided to try doing some backgrounds, the hand-painted route. I used Corel Painter, I used Photoshop. Neither program is very good for what I want to accomplish. The brushes used in the software are very awful. You can tell. The golf background is probably the nicest looking background that I got done, and even that's not fantastic. By the way, this is Chris Crosby. Just in case you didn't get the joke, it's the founder of Keen Spot. I drew him slightly husky. Figured there was no harm in that. Slightly husky, not too husky. He's not over ridiculously fat like some people have drawn him out to be. I just wanted to be sort of the loving tribute that you come to expect from a bonus stage parody. That's all. I'm sorry that you had to listen to me ramble for way too long. Hopefully the next one will be much better.